Welcome to ETS V News. It's the fun and informative TV component to Education Technology Solutions magazine. Today, we're catching up with education rock star and big daddy of Aussie Ed, Brett Salakis, about his article in ETS magazine on drones in education. We've also got a Star Wars surprise coming at you as we review something new from Fujitsu, and then we're going to pull out the crystal ball and ask some of you what the future of education is going to look like. We've got breaking news from software developer Parallels. If you haven't already heard, Parallels Desktop 11 for Mac has launched with Windows 10 integration, OS X El Capitan readiness with up to 50% performance improvements. And it makes Microsoft's Cortana available to Mac users in OS X. If you don't already know Cortana, she's your personal intelligent assistant. She's kind of like Siri, only instead of looking like this, she looks like this. Boom shika wow wow. This is the first time that Parallels Desktop has ever made a Windows feature available for OS X applications, and this time it's a big one. The new editions of Parallels Desktop for Mac also benefit from travel mode, which extends battery life to up to 25% while on the go. Parallels Desktop for Mac is very active in the education sector, and we've given version 11 a test drive, and I gotta say, it's really great. Today we catch up with Brett Salakis. He's becoming a very well-known teacher from New South Wales, not only because of what he does in the classroom, but also because he's one of the founders and moderators of Aussie Ed. Welcome, Brett.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
So, buddy, how did you come up with the idea for drones in the classroom?
Oh, look, that's a really cool story, actually. I was up at EduTech in Brisbane the middle of this year, and I happened to meet Larry Johnson, who's the founder of, as you would know, the Horizon Report, and I had a bit of a word with him, and he told me at that time in the interim report that drones was going to feature in the actual report. So I got a little bit of an early insight. My instant reaction was like, drones, how does that even fit into the classroom? And I really started to think, if you were going to use drones in a school, how do you do it so that it deepens the quality of the learning? So it's not just a nice flash in the pan, whiz bang sort of thing, but how do you do it to really benefit the students and make their learning better because they're doing that? And that just sort of grew within me. And then it's funny, every single time I've mentioned it, people have had the same reaction, but the same level of enthusiasm in ways to be able to actually incorporate use of drones or droids or robots into their teaching.
What are some of the learning outcomes you and the kids are achieving with the drones program in your school?
All right, one of the other really cool ways that you can sort of incorporate the use of drones, and I'm going to keep saying drones, droids and robots if you don't mind, because I think they sort of come under the same sort of umbrella. One of the really cool things that you can do is start to incorporate coding into your teaching practice, into the curriculum. And having coding within our curriculum is something that we have to look at, and drones provides the perfect buy-in for teachers to be able to do this because two reasons. One, there are so many apps. One of my favorite ones is the Tickle app. I'll give you a little tip there, the Tickle app. It's got a big killer whale on it if you're sort of having a look to download it. And you can send that via Bluetooth to the drone or to the droid that you want to use, and then it will navigate and go. Now, if you want to see students amazed and engaged and involved in their learning, you want to teach coding, give them one of those apps, let them connect it to the drone, press play and watch the drone fly up and go, and you hear noises like you would at a football game. The level of excitement is just phenomenal, and if you want to engage students, teach coding and do it in a non-threatening way for teachers as well, because it's pretty easy to get your head around once you try it, I think the use of drones is the way to go for you.
So Brett, where do you want to take this? What's the next step?
Well, the next step for me is probably the next step for a lot of teachers all over the world. We are hearing about the use of drones, we're hearing about the use of droids, and we go, well, yeah, okay, how? How do I actually do this? So what I've tried to do is set up a really, I think, unique opportunity for teachers around the world to connect and collaborate on a little competition. It's something that I'm using a hashtag, drones in ed. That's, hashtag drones in ed. It's a little competition, and there are 3 ways that you can sort of get involved in the competition, and they all involve just making a little 1-minute video and then uploading it and sharing it with teachers around the world. Super simple. Number 1, you make like a little maze or a little obstacle course within your classroom. Now, I've done this a number of times. It's pretty easy. You then have the students actually code in their solution to navigating the maze. Now, this is great mathematical skills because you're talking about angles and you're talking about distance and speed and all that sort of stuff. So it's a fantastic mathematical skill here that we're going to be working on. But then it's actually the skill set of coding itself, and then even the design thinking process of redesign and finding out what's not working, and then how do you fix that? How do you remedy that? That redesign process is probably the most important aspect of it. Secondly, you could do a similar thing with a droid or a Sphero or a robot or something like that, and you can showcase how you are using those sorts of devices to teach in your school. And then thirdly is one that I'm especially passionate about, and that's the whole curriculum redefinition. So how have you been able to use a drone or use a droid or something and actually change the way that you teach your subject, change the way that you teach your lessons? And if you can capture any one of those 3 sort of initiatives in a 1-minute video and upload that, it's going to help other teachers around the world, and then I think we can all learn from that, or hopefully be inspired to do even better ourselves.
Thanks so much, Brett. Really appreciate you being here.
No worries. Great to be here, and I hope everyone enjoys the article, and I hope to see lots of drones buzzing around schools in the future.
Be sure to check out Brett's article, Drones, Flying into the Future, only in ETS. Tweet of the week comes from Donald Louie, who teaches in southwestern Sydney. Donald asks, "Hey EdTech Magazine, any idea when the August issue of the magazine will be available on the iPad?" Great question, and thanks for asking, Donald. With the increasing number of schools going BYOD, we've made the move to Issue because it's multi-platform. If you follow us on Issue, you'll be notified each time the next issue comes out, and you'll never miss out again. So, to everyone who loves the digital version of ETS, you can still get nice and cozy with the magazine on your iPad, and teachers with a Microsoft Surface, any laptop, Android, or Windows smartphone, you now have access to the magazine as well. Everybody's a winner. All right, let me get straight to the point with this one. Education Technology Solutions magazine loves the Fujitsu ScanSnap IX500. The IX500 provides PC and Mac users in schools a super effective way to become a paperless school. We believe it's the ultimate device to help you reduce your stress, completely eliminate paper clutter, and cut the security risks your school has with unmanaged paperwork. Check it out. Any worksheets, contracts, or permission slips that get handed in can be zipped through the IX500 and be stored digitally, and paper waste can go where it belongs, in the recycling. This means no more messy desks, no more looking for loose sheets of paper. Simply ScanSnap it. It's that easy. What's new with the IX500 is a greater sense of accessibility because schools can now scan wirelessly to any PC, Mac, iOS, or Android device. Among other awesome features, the IX500 delivers an advanced paper feeding system, blazing high-quality color scanning, even faster searchable PDF creation, plus an even quicker menu for enhanced productivity than ever before, and a 50-sheet automatic document feeder, which I'm going to test out right now. Fujitsu Yaesu ScanSnap IX500 is available now and comes ready to rock. Star Wars Jedi lightsaber not included.
We're here with Annabelle Asprey from ABC Splash. Annabelle, what's the classroom of the future really going to need?
I think the classroom of the future is going to need resources that really speak to students and that can engage them from the get-go.
I'm here with Tanya Hanush from Cisco. Tanya, what are some of the things that schools should be thinking about when looking at procuring technology?
A couple of things. I'd say looking at what the strategic objectives are for the next 3 to 5 years, and then sort of working back from that to ensure that whatever technology gets put in at the ground level will suffice for the next 3 to 5 years of growth and enabling them to be able to do things and turn things on when and as they need. So as the school grows, technology solution sets grow with that.
So Annabelle, who would win in a fight between a lion and a shark?
Definitely a shark. It's more sneaky.
More sneaky? And sneaky factor wins.
All the time.
Tanya, in a fight between an octopus and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who would win?
I'm going to go the octopus.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I reckon, multiple arms can come around and do some different dancing styles, and it's got to be the octopus for me.
Good answer.
Thank you for joining us in this episode of ETS V News. We can't wait to see you again. Until then, if it's about technology and it's in education, we want to know.